The most difficult addiction I have ever had to overcome in my life is not weed, it's not porn, it's not nicotine. Subhanallah, it's food. I used to argue with my brother a lot, right? And one day he spoke to me in such a way that made me feel like I was this big, like I didn't matter, like I was insignificant, like I was just a little piece of. And I ran upstairs in that moment of sadness, anger, emotion. I slammed the door shut and I started to eat chocolates and eat sugar and eat whatever food that I had secretly stashed away, to the point of feeling sick and then eating more on top of that, subhanallah. I used to binge eat 3,000 to 4,000 calories of sugar every single day. That's expensive. And the feeling of just being disgusting, walking around with a bloated belly, disappointed, guilty, it was a state that I used to experience by default. It became normal for me to feel disgusting. One of the hardest addictions is food, because we cannot quit our addiction to food. We have to form a healthy food relationship. And I want to share with you my journey on how I've been able to do that. Alhamdulillah, a balanced food relationship that's not extreme. I've tried keto, I've tried carnivore, I've tried low carb, no carb, whatever it is. And alhamdulillah, right now, I feel like I'm at a great balance. And I want to share with you how I got there. And it's not about discipline. That story that I told you started with feeling insignificant. We eat our emotions away. We try to suppress how we feel with food, with whatever it is that is serving as a numbing agent. The emotions underlying the behavior, the state of the heart that is driving the habit, that is the root that needs to be addressed. After coaching so many people over the past 6 years, one-to-one, helping them overcome their addictions, I have found one common denominator between every single one of them. High achievers, low achievers, whatever it is, people that are earning a lot of money, people that are earning not as much, people from all different walks of life, the one common denominator that they share is a low sense of self-worth. This all begins in our early years of life. At some point, I learned that my value was low, that I was not valued for whatever reason. And I lived with this sense of feeling unvalued and inadequate and insignificant all throughout my early adult life. And it manifested as self-punishment and self-sabotage. You see, when I was binge eating in my bedroom that time after arguing with my brother, I was trying to punish him. The resentment that I felt towards him for triggering my low sense of self-worth, I wanted to punish him for it, and I wanted him to feel guilty by punishing myself and hurting myself. So resentment is like a poison that we drink, expecting the other person to get hurt. And it's never about the other person. It's not about what my brother said to me. It's not about how he was speaking to me. He was just speaking in a downward tone, being quite assertive and neutral. It was me. It was my problem. It was the low self-worth within me that really was triggered and that led to that self-sabotage. So I'm going to take you through a process on how I was able to increase my sense of self-worth and therefore consume healthier foods in a healthier way and live a healthier, more self-respecting lifestyle. Step number one, right? Ask yourself the question, which areas in your life are you showing yourself a lack of self-respect? Really consider all the different areas of your life. For me personally, I noticed this, right? When it became clear that I had low self-worth, I looked in my wardrobe and I saw all of these secondhand clothes that were passed down to me from my siblings, from my relatives. They had holes in them. They were dirty. They weren't nice. They didn't have quality. They didn't feel good. I was a hand-me-down kid. And so I looked at those clothes and I saw them as a symbol of low self-worth. Because when I was binge eating sugar, I was also smoking a lot of weed at that time. I was spending over £120 on weed every single week. Subhanallah. And when I would go to the city centre to buy clothes, I would find a t-shirt that was £20 and I would say, I can't afford that. That's too expensive. That was a signal for me. That became clear that my worth was low because I could spend £120 on smoking weed, but I couldn't spend £20 on giving myself some nice clothing. So one of the first things I did was I took all my clothes and I got rid of 80% of them, donated them to charity. And I went and bought myself a new wardrobe as a token, as a symbol of self-respect. So where are you showing yourself a lack of self-respect? That is what you need to resolve. It's not about food. It's about how much you value yourself. Now, the wardrobe was just the beginning. Then it was the cleanliness of my living space, my bedroom. It was paying for a haircut. I never used to pay for haircuts. I used to shave my head. Subhanallah. Every couple weeks, I would shave it myself. I would give myself a haircut because I wasn't worth £15. I wasn't worth $20 on a haircut. That's low self-respect. That's low self-worth. Okay, so I started paying for a haircut. You might not find this difficult. Your low self-worth might appear somewhere else. And in fact, most commonly, it does appear in this way. The second most common manifestation after self-neglect, it's people-pleasing. Someone invites you to an event, to a party, to a gathering, to something that you know you don't really want to go to. But you say yes because you're afraid to say no. You people please. Your value is low. Your worthiness is low. And you're afraid that if you say no to that person, they're going to not be your friend anymore. They're going to dislike you. They're going to disapprove of you. I actually noticed that this pattern of people pleasing was very alive with my own mother. I was so afraid of losing her approval. I realized this is something that started as a kid, that when she was mad with me, if I would be true to myself and I would say no, I'd get the silent treatment. She would withdraw all of her love from me. She would pull it away and I would feel like I didn't exist. I would feel like I didn't matter. And that's very painful. And so when we grow up, having had these childhood experiences, we don't want to experience that pain again. And so we will people please as a way to avoid experiencing that sensation of love being withdrawn from us. And so this was very tough. I had to start saying no to my mum. I had to start standing firm as myself and develop a more secure sense of self. She wasn't very happy about it. It took a while for her to get used to this new version of me. And this is what will happen. The people around you that you have trained to treat you with a low level of respect, they'll have to update their software because you've had a software update. Now they need to catch up. And so you're going to have to retrain them. People will only disrespect you. People will only not respect your boundaries because you have trained them to do so through interaction after interaction. So you've got to untrain them and retrain them to treat you with respect. How? By respecting yourself. This takes practice. When you want to say yes, you say yes. When you want to say no, you say no. And learning to do so in a way that is respectful of the other person is key. We're not talking here about being rude. We're not talking here about being disrespectful. We're talking about being dignified. So, the second way that low self worth manifests most commonly with my clients is people pleasing. And now we're on to the third. The third is the addiction itself. The third is that you're putting a substance into your body or you're overeating in such a way that makes you feel horrible. You don't deserve to feel horrible. So, addiction is the third manifestation of low self worth. But solving that addiction starts with step one. It starts by undoing self neglect, by treating yourself well. Self care, it sounds feminine, I know, and it is feminine. And every man has to have a healthy connection to his feminine. Then he'll treat his wife better. Then he'll have a better relationship with women. Then he'll have a better relationship to the feminine within him. Because that food, that is an unhealthy approach, a toxic approach to satisfying the inner feminine. Men and women, we've both got masculine and feminine aspects to our nature. And we as men need healthy ways to nurture our feminine. So just to review, and then I'll get on to the fourth point, self-care. Number 2, self-respect through ending the cycle of people pleasing. Saying what is true, speaking up for yourself and asserting boundaries respectfully. Number 3 is the addictions themselves. Those are a manifestation of low self-worth. If you've never realized that before, realize it now. And fourth, healthy feminine nourishment. Nourish and nurture your inner feminine in a way that is healthy, in a way that doesn't take away from you, but it only fills you up. How do I do that? I do that by getting out in nature alone. I love getting out in nature, spending time in the mountains, walking through the forests and really just connecting, seeing the little birds flying by and just enjoying Allah's creation. Another way that you can satisfy your feminine in a healthy way is through writing, journaling, through solitude. Real solitude, though, not sitting there with your smartphone. Real solitude, reflection. A pet, subhanAllah, a cat or a dog, depending on your belief and which school of thought you follow. Each of these is a way to satisfy your feminine. If you've got a daughter, giving love to your daughter, this is an expression of the inner feminine. This will satisfy your inner feminine. When this inner feminine is satisfied, you're not going to want to binge eat. You're not going to want to self-sabotage. You will feel your sense of self-worth. You will feel like you matter. You will feel loved, because that is what it comes down to in the end. Addiction is not self-loving. Binge eating and self-sabotaging is not self-loving. The solution at the root to an unhealthy food relationship, it's not discipline or a lack of it. It's an undernourished inner feminine. The feminine aspect of you that Allah created within you is not nourished. And that manifests as a low sense of self-worth. When you value yourself more and you mirror that self-worth through your actions, through how you dress, through how you groom yourself, through how you clean yourself and your environment and your space, to the quality of the food that you buy, to feeling worthy to actually spend money on quality foods and products, then inshallah, then and only then will you be free from this pattern. I hope this was of benefit to you. Feel free to like the video and subscribe, inshallah. And if you would like to book a call with me, check out the description, inshallah, fill out an application, and maybe we will speak soon. Don't miss the next video. It'll be out next Thursday. I'll see you then, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.